After the Civil War ended in 1865, it took Bledsoe County some 10 years to recover from the devastation of the Civil War, but the killings had only just begun. Have you ever heard the term Bloody Bledsoe? Well, the term Bloody Bledsoe was given birth in the late 1800s in Bledsoe County, Tennessee. Why? Well, this unforgiving land had produced from the Civil War and beyond grudges and hatred that no one would ever think would carry over such a long period of time. What branded the name Bloody Bledsoe? Not killings, but political persuasion. How? Well, good old moonshine whiskey. The voter was enticed with whiskey to soften him up a bit, then to get your vote to vote the way the candidate or his followers wanted you to. I am standing in what would have been the living room of the John A. Tollett home. The men wore masks. And was there two, or was there more? More than likely, John, being the man of great and noble character that he was, told his children he could handle the situation himself. And John told the men if he was going to die, he wanted to wear his hat. He was taken to the hillside, and the horror that followed. Most horrific murders, April 30th, May 1st, 1863, during the Civil War. Why didn't the other family members stay with their father, John A. Tollett Jr.? His daughter, Sarah Letitia, was the only one that did. She was the youngest and not yet married. The doors bolted and locked, the knocking of the front door. There was no way John Tollett Jr. was going to answer this knock. John K. Young was determined to do his evil deed, entering through a back window by knocking it out and entering. April 30th, 1863 was the last sunset these two men would ever see. Was it John K. Young or A. Swafford that was doing this? The only way one could be identified was by his hairy arms. The men wore masks. And was there two, or was there more? And John told the men if he was going to die, he wanted to wear his hat. He was taken to the hillside, and the horror that followed. John Tollett Jr. and Old Man Monday were torturously murdered in South Cumberland County on John A. Tollett Jr.'s property. These murders may have been from more than just one cause, the other being shot once and stabbed 9 times. These men were of great valor and conviction, and they didn't want to give up where their goal was buried. John Tollett Jr. was said to have taken the money elsewhere before his pursuers came to kill him. The atrocious dirty deed really set hard in the minds of the Tollett family. Elijah Gore Tollett, son of John A., accepted his gold or cash for safekeeping. The renegades had visited John on the 28th of April, 1863, a Tuesday evening, and thus warned him they were coming back because they didn't get the gold this time. Bill's father, Elijah Gore, ordered 5 .44 pistols. He was at the point he'd had enough. Moreover, there was another incident that happened between Big A. Swafford and Bill at the Litton store. Bill Tollett was away from home across the ford below Tollett Mill through the Crossville Turnpike and headed south toward the old hall. When they arrived at the hall, Aaron A. Swafford had already voted. He was just coming out of the building. The others were in the process of voting. Whether or not there was moonshine being handed out that day, there's no mention of it. As Big A. Swafford walked out the door, the Tolletts were approaching. As they dismounted, one of the Tollets walked toward Big Aaron, everyone with their hands in their pockets, then said to him, "You damn son of a bitch, I don't want anything more to do with you." Aaron A. winked, then shot fired.